Thank you for being here, Isabel. Welcome to La Cima Memorias.
Así se llama Memorias? Oh, that's cute. Oh, I love it.
We want to kick off this interview by inviting you to introduce yourself to our listeners.
So, mi nombre es Isabel Garcia Ruiz. I was born here in Seattle, Washington. My parents are from Morelia, Michoacan. And the one thing that I'm always proud of saying is I'm first gen in my family. And still currently a student because tengo unas metas that I still need to meet because I'm not, what is it called? You know, my bar is still not met for myself. Currently a student at Edmonds College, formerly known as Edmonds Community College, in my associate's degree for pre-nursing, which is a transfer to the university after to get my bachelor's of science in nursing. I'm currently a medical assistant in Swedish Edmonds Birth and Family Clinic, and I have been there for a year and a half. Y antes trabajaba en Cima. I started in 2016, so after high school, I became a medical assistant because a girl's gotta hustle. I mean, my parents always rose me to help out the family, so I've always been a workaholic, I call myself. Pero la meta is always to be a RN, and as much as I had many barriers, I'ma still get there eventually, slowly, pero I'ma get there. So that's a little bit about me.
Can you tell us a little more? Who and where do you come from?
So my dad's name is Osvaldo. My mom is Maribel. My mom is from Torreon Nuevo in Morelia, Michoacan, and my dad from Quinceo, which is not that far from each other. So both of them lived in Mexico, and then they moved here in 1996. So my parents, school-wise, my mom was only went to fifth grade. She was pulled out because she needed to help my grandma with her other siblings. And my dad only made it to middle school because my grandpa wanted him to start working and help out with making money for the family. So that's a little bit of my my need to help out the family, is knowing I know the necessities that we need here, so I would stop anything for myself to do for them because they did so much for me. So that's a little bit about them.
Any more about who you are?
I'm the oldest of three. So big responsibility of being the oldest, setting the grounds of stones on the right and wrong for my siblings. So my brother's name is Carlos. I think he's 20. Yeah, he's 20. And my younger sister, Julie, who is going to turn 18 in August. She's graduating this year of high school. So I think I'm doing a little good as the older sibling.
Right on, yeah. They're all making their way right after you. That's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
That just makes me smile. So for this next question, I'm going to try my Spanish.
Okay.
¿Puedes decirme qué significa la cima para ti?
La Cima para mí is my home away from home. Like the first year that I went, I grew as a person. I mean, I was myself. I'm getting emotional. Oh my God. I mean, when you grow in a place donde odian a los hispanos, and you always have to be quiet about your parents being immigrants, y llegas a un lugar where people relate to you, I think I felt more myself in La Cima than I ever did anywhere else. And that's why La Cima is my home away from home.
So what did you leave or take away from La Cima?
Pues me llevé new family members every year, friendships, people that I can lean on knowing when I need support. Que aunque everything at a moment can be so hard, that there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. There's always something. And it can bloom into the most beautiful things.
Do you have a particular memory that you made at La Cima?
Ooh. I mean, 7 years in La Cima, you have a lot of memories. So it's hard to pick de todas, you like love the most, or the one that's more memorable. But I think one of my main ones, well, I have a lot of main ones. Mi primera is the second year that I was a delegate, mi concilio. I made a very good friend whose name is Miguel, and I'm still friends with him. And we vowed from that year on that we were going to go to La Cima back and back and back. So we did. We went back as JCs for 3 years together, and then he couldn't go for the 4th year, pero yo seguí. So I went for 4th year as a JC, and then I finally made it to an SC. So I'm going to keep going until, I got. And then another memory que tengo is I became really good friends with Monica my first year as a JC. I remember how shy she was at first, and then we got together, and since then, I feel like we've been inseparable in La Cima. We're just always together, and it's just, she's like my safety net in La Cima. So she's one of my favorite.
Your connections in those stories.
Oh yeah, lots of connections. I mean, I met Brenda, Sergio, Roberto. We've always been together since we all first went our first year as JCs. And now we're SCs, which is nice to watch.
Yeah, it really is.
And just watching, as a JC, cuando tienes todos tus concilios, just watching all the future JCs come back as JCs. Like, I think last year, as my first year as an SC, and watching many of my own delegates as new JCs or coming back JCs, I can't, that was one of my proudest moments. I was like, I guess I'm doing something right.
Yes, you are. What keeps you going in this moment we're in?
Well, right now, because I know I don't have it the toughest, because I see my sister, her senior year ended too quickly, and I know she has those emotions and doesn't want to express the sadness because she feels selfish. So in estos momentos, my motivation is trying to have her not feel the down, pero tratar de sentir lo bueno, the bright side, the good things that are going to come after, because I know eventually some good is going to come out of all this. I mean, right now it's all sad, but we can't look at the sad. You got to look at, we've got to bond more as a family because we are together all the time. Knowing that there's always something to look forward to, and knowing it's a great day to still be alive, and that we're all still safe and our family members are safe. Just the motivation to know that eventually something bueno at the end of all this will happen.
¿Qué acciones estás tomando?
¿Qué acciones estoy tomando? As in what actions I'm doing right now?
What are you actually doing, and what actions are you taking to stay motivated and to continue this way in this positivity?
Working, seeing a lot of my patients' smiles always brings me smiles. So knowing that they're doing good and they're happy that we're okay and we're safe, but we're still there to help them. When I do little activities with my sister, today I'm going to make her fake graduation before we watch her real graduation, but I want to give her that feel that motivates me to give her those feelings. Just nomás hablando con mis papás, and then just seeing que ellos están bien, I'm motivated to continue going forward.
Thank you so much for your stories and for sharing with us. To wrap up our interview, we'll do some quick lightning round questions. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. So what is a book or podcast you recommend to everyone?
I'm too lazy to read, so I don't really sometimes. So I don't have a favorite book because books are hard to get my attention. And podcast I haven't really gotten into because Netflix takes too much of my time.
Well, then what's the recommendation there?
On Netflix, oh my goodness. I've seen too many. Well, so in dark times like this, I like to fall into comedy. So New Girl makes me laugh, or what's my other favorite show? I have too many. Oh, well, I watched Avatar: The Last Airbender recently. I binge watched that. So that is my favorite top of all, because within our cartoon, so many hidden messages are in there that are so needed at this time. So that is my must-have.
Right on. Thank you. What is a piece of advice you would say to your younger self or wish you had heard when you were younger?
Setbacks and failures aren't bad. They always bloom into something better. So at the time it might look bad, but just when you look back, you realize that it happened for a reason. Some things just happen for a reason and it works out for the best.
What is a call to action you have for our listeners?
A call to actions. I always try to make people smile. Always find a little smile in someone or give someone a smile. It always makes you feel better. So my call to action is try to make someone smile without like trying that hard, because a smile can go a long way.
Right on. Thank you. It was really wonderful to have you as our first interview.
I'm so glad. I mean, all I do is laugh.